Hello and welcome to our next video. In this lesson, we're going to fix the bundle config so that all of our CSS and JS files will render correctly on our pages. So this is going to be tricky. So if you get stuck or having some problems, pause the video and take some time to make sure that you're getting everything set up exactly like I'm doing it. And you may need to come back and look at it again if something doesn't work correctly. If anything is not typed correctly as far as paths go, or inclusions go, or even the order, you will most likely have problems trying to render your pages. So just make sure to be very diligent to follow along with what I'm doing. So here we have bundle config, and that's going to have a list of a bunch of different things. Now how this works is in ASP.NET MVC, it gives us this chance to work with these bundles, and these bundles will just basically package our stuff and then render them onto the pages for us. It's really nice. That way we don't have to type this stuff at the top of every page or put specific directories in our layouts. It's all handled for us. The other thing is, ultimately, you can set this to minify to a very compact version of the file as you do your deploy. So there are already some script bundles in place. Now we're going to take out, we're actually not going to use jQuery validation, and so that's not going to be there. But what we're going to do is actually, let's just change this to data tables. So I'm going to keep everything lowercase just to make sure I don't make mistakes with any kind of camel casing or anything. So I have jQuery and I have data tables. And then I'm also going to want a bootstrap bundle, which they already have here. So I'm going to take out modernizer. I'm actually going to move bootstrap up above data tables. We're just going to do them in the same order. This order is not as critical as what would be where we render them on the page, but as long as we're going to render them in this order, I want to go ahead and just have them in this order so that it's in the same order in my mind in both places. Now, obviously, we no longer have a scripts directory, so we need to change anything that says scripts to JS. So I'm just going to copy that and then overwrite that. So if you hold down the control key, you can replace an entire block of text at once. So we're going to change content to CSS. Now we're going to leave this here. It still says content CSS here, but that's just essentially going to be how it's going to render on the page, as well as these bundles jQuery, bundles bootstrap, and bundles data tables. So keep note of these because we will see these again, especially this one. Even though we don't have a content folder over here anymore, this still will be relevant to us. This is the path for our actual stuff though. And you can see, of course, things are not correct. We don't have any of these on the minified version. And jQuery with that version there has always given me trouble. I'm sure it works fine if you do it absolutely correctly. But what I'm going to do, I have it saved as jQuery.min.js anyway. So I'm going to go back to my bundle config because I lost my page there. But I'm just going to go jQuery and make sure if it's dash or dot, you're using the correct one. I almost always type the wrong one and end up with having either a dash where I should have a dot or a dot where I should have a dash. So jQuery.min.js, I took the version number off of mine. If you had a version number there, just make sure it said either that version or had the version number hard-coded. Either way, it's going to be fine. So all we need in our jQuery is the jQuery. For Bootstrap, what we want is our bootstrap.min. We don't need respond.js anymore. So we need bootstrap.min.js. So make sure it's exactly like that. So that's going to be our jQuery, then our bootstrap, and then we need to import our data table scripts. There's going to be 3 of them we're going to key on here. And so these 3 that we have. So we're going to do them in the order of jQuery first, followed by bootstrap, followed by call reorder. So call reorder is going to be an addition to the actual bootstrap data tables, and data tables bootstrap we want to render over top of the actual data tables. So it may be actually overwriting everything. I'm not fully aware, but I'm going to include all 3 just to make sure that it works the way I would expect it to. So we're going to start by doing jQuery.datatables.min.js. Don't forget to actually have all of those in the path. We're going to, outside of the quotes there, we'll do a comma and go to a new line, and we'll just do a quote tilde/js/jQuery, not jQuery. Now we want data tables bootstrap.min.js, another line ~/js/dataTables.callReorder.min.js. So hopefully I haven't fat fingered anything there, and I have everything typed exactly like it's named over here. And actually, I almost made a huge mistake. I forgot to put these in the library folder. That would not have rendered, and what a mistake that would have been, right? So we would have found that eventually, but luckily I saw it right now. We want those to be in js/lib because they're in a lib folder here as well. And that's going to be our JS stuff that we need. We have to get all of our CSS done, and I'm going to include all of my CS in the same one. And if you're not familiar with CSS, it does stack. So the top one will get overwritten by the bottom one or whatever if you have the same things named. And that's why you would put your most specific one at the bottom with your most specific changes and the other stuff towards the top. So we're just going to start at the top and do the bootstrap min CSS. So it's going to be bootstrap.min.css. And then actually, let me just bring this up so we can see it here. So then we'll put bootstrap theme min underneath that. And every time I click on it, it's going to drag me over there, so I don't want to do that. So here we're just going to do CSS bootstrap -theme.min.css, and we need a comma. And then we're going to go ahead and do CSS, and we'll do next. Let's go to all right, so we're going to do the two jQueries, and then we're going to do the data tables and then the call reorder. So we'll go here, then here, then here, then here. In case I make a mistake, you can do that yourself and follow along. So CSS, and we're going to go jQuery.dataTables.min.css, comma, and then we need a new line, CSS. Then we're going to do jQuery.dataTables_theme_roller.css. And then we're going to do CSS dataTables.bootstrap.min.css. And then we're going to do call reorder. Now that's going to get my page wired up, ready to go with my bundles. And now we're going to take a short break. And when we come back, we will finish up by wiring up the layout.cshtml so that we can correctly render our bundles on our main page and run the application. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next time.